Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Crypto Logic Podcast. My name is Mike, your co-host John, and our goal on our channel is to create generational wealth through logic and understanding. So if that's something you can get behind, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video if you find something helpful. So with that being said, let's dive into the show. Guys, we said we're going to bring Dante on every week, and we kept our promise. Dante, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, boys? Glad to be here.
Yeah, man.
Excited,
We got an action-packed show today, so we got a couple articles we're going to go through. Definitely, we always want to input what you have to say about it, and kind of go from there.
Yes.
But before we do all of that, how's everybody doing? Dante, first off, let's start with you, man. How you doing, man? How's your week been
this week?
This week has been good. Like I was telling you guys off air, it's been the longest I've taken off of YouTube in the last, basically since January.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only been 6 days and it feels like forever, but it's been good. It's been good. I really can't say anything else. It's just been good.
Well,
Enjoying
man,
my time.
a lot of the people on our channel love to have you on, man. So
we get a lot of people saying, "Bring him back."
they're like, "Bring him back, bring
Is he
him
coming
back."
Yeah,
So, hey.
We're back, baby. We're back in the studio, baby.
You're stuck with us now, Dante. You're stuck.
I'm
Gonna let a lot of people down
okay
there.
with that.
All right, man. I guess we could just hop into the market cap. Let's go ahead and talk about where everything is today, right? We're sitting at 2.3 trillion on the total market cap, down about almost 3% on the day, which is not technically too bad.
2.25.
Bitcoin has been just kind of sitting at 56,000, 57,000, but I think we found support. So, I think by the end of the week, we could probably see a 60,000 Bitcoin. What do you think, Dante? You think by the end of the week we might see 60K? Or you think another week?
Yeah, I think yes. Just based on the feeling, the sentiment, it feels like this is the time, especially with the way that alts are acting.
Yeah.
That Bitcoin's gonna have that kind of run. That yes, your alts are gonna probably look like booty for a while, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah. They say when Bitcoin consolidates is when alts start to pump a little bit. So, should be pretty interesting. Ethereum is sitting at around 3,500. Hopefully that can get back up to all-time highs, which was, I believe, 4,200, if I'm not mistaken. Cardano has kind of been trading sideways, which is fine. It's
It's been stuck there forever.
I don't know if any of the
I'm just holding it.
has the smart contracts been launched on Cardano yet, or are they
Yes.
still going through the phase?
Actually, I honestly don't try. I have Cardano and it's big part of my portfolio, but I haven't
really
paid attention,
checked
honestly, at
into
all.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
really
assuming
checked
that
into
things are gonna go at their own pace, and things will.
Right.
You asked me the question last couple of weeks ago, our smart contract's gonna be fine. I think everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna roll out fine, but I'm not paying attention to deadlines because I think it'll happen when it happens.
Well, the thing about deadlines though is it's always buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? If they're like, oh, Cardano's gonna hit $10 by, next week, you're gonna be like, all right, well, you can always expect it to pull back. It's never gonna hit that mark, because
Exactly.
people are just gonna start selling.
Yeah.
They just get antsy. So
That is when to sell. Honestly,
is
when
when
you
to
see
sell.
that is when you sell. When you see those
Exactly.
people there, that's when it's like, all right, now people are just saying things.
Yep.
Clearly.
Exactly. XRP sitting at $1.10. Solana sitting at 144. Last time we spoke about 2-3 days ago, Solana was sitting at 165. So it has retraced a little bit, but you can't really go wrong with Solana.
Great
in my
dollar
opinion.
cost average token right now to this dollar cost average into, because you're just buying it a little higher, and you're buying it when it's under $20, and your average is not gonna go parabolic. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a safe, sure bet to.
Now, Dante, what do you think about DOT? I really like DOT, man. What do you think about DOT?
DOT is one of those ones where it's kind of like Link. DOT, Link. I guess to be fair with Solana, I remember talking about Solana when it was like $30 or $43 and saying this one is just based on it was the right timing for Solana to have a nice run up the way it did. Same thing with Avalanche. I think DOT, it's going to have a run up, but I just think that there will be more time to get into DOT, where it's the same thing with Link, where what you have an opportunity with now with lower caps, you can
Right.
take all of those profits and put it into DOT at a higher price than it might be now, but at a much more fair price based on how close we are to it being
Fully
used a lot
utilized.
more.
Yeah.
Because obviously DOT has the connections. DOT is the first really like, you know, well, it is the first like base protocol layer 0 that you know, allows for interoperability in a way where we didn't have it before.
Yep.
But I just think that
Yeah.
I think the way the whole market has just gone up and down in the last couple of months,
Mhm.
and everything that's gone on with the regulation and the we're still early. We still have time. We still have time.
Me
I
and
do
John
believe
always
that.
say like, well, I always
No, we
say,
gotta say.
but
Don hasn't had his run up yet.
Dot hasn't had his run up in my
We said last
opinion.
episode.
No, it's
and,
not for sure.
But I'm not buying into Dot right now. You know what I'm saying? I would buy into Dot bear market. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But you know, with
Exactly.
all the parachains coming out on Dot, I'm looking at a lot of the parachains and like, hey, I want to invest in the parachains. So
The thing is, I've seen DOT float around a lot of places in regards of like exchanges and like Nexo Wallet and all these like venture capitalist companies. They're mentioning DOT a lot. So I feel like something's brewing for Polkadot.
well, it's
So-
interoperability and security. That's
I
why.
think it's next in line to just go crazy.
What? Yeah, I would say like if you wanted to. So put it this way. This is the other reason why like DOT didn't interest me initially
Mhm.
when it was much cheaper, is because if you're gonna choose one between Kusama and DOT, it's like what
Yeah.
Kusama does is essentially Kusama is like the playground for DOT. So everything that wants everybody who wants to create something that's going to be you know, actually something that they implement for years down the road, they're going to try it on Kusama first. So there's going to be an actual demand for Kusama before DOT.
Exactly.
And there's going to be like the barrier for entry is far lower because it's just a playground. It's not the real deal. So I think, you know, Kusama to me, if you believe in DOT as an ecosystem, getting Kusama is a no brainer. That's
Yeah,
how
they're
I
like
see it.
they're
And
like
it's-
sisters almost.
yeah. And there's
You know.
much better tokenomics with Kusama in the short term. Just think about it for, you know, maybe where are all the developers going to go? The developers are all going to go to Kusama first, not DOT. This
Well,
might
yeah,
be complete. This
just-
might be a little bit. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but you get what I mean.
No, I mean it's a valid point because I've heard that as well. Anything that people want to implement on DOT, there's an equal representation already coming out on Kusama because
Yeah.
Kusama doesn't have to worry about security and this and this and this and this. It's just they use it on Kusama to see if it works, and then
Yeah.
if it works, they're like, all right, cool. Well, we need a sister chain to it now, and then that's when it comes with Polkadot, and they're like, all right, we're gonna take your code, we're gonna put it over here, we're gonna change the name, we're gonna do something else, and then boom, now, you know, we got DOT. So no,
Exactly.
I totally agree with you, man. Totally agree.
And DOT was born.
And DOT was born.
Dogecoin
No,
has not
but-
done anything
I like Luna too,
at
though.
all. This
Luna's
is a whole.
got-
That's a whole
dumped a little
ecosystem, though,
bit.
man.
Yeah.
That's a whole ecosystem.
See, look at the market caps at 14 billion. So
I still think
double
Luna's going to
that,
surprise everybody.
28.
If I was going to buy one, see, that's the thing. When you choose DOT or Luna, or
Mhm.
really any layer 1 in Luna, the tokenomics of Luna are just far better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Look at the price
all
of
of
where it
them.
is. If you look at the
100%.
price, 37 at 14 billion. at
Luna is
28
still
billion,
probably the only thing that I would
$70.
buy in the top 10 right now that
Yeah,
I don't already own.
I would go. I
Top
would say
15,
either
I'd say.
Luna or Avalanche.
Yeah, agreed.
Luna or Avalanche. Between those two, I'm kind of leaning a little
You
bit
don't
towards
like-
Avalanche,
you
though.
don't like
Agreed.
Cosmos?
I like Cosmos too. I mean, you know, that's the thing, man. It's just like there's so many.
There's
But
more time
I'm,
for
I'm saying
Cosmos.
There's
if
more
I,
time, you think?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But
So
Cosmos,
look
Cosmos was
at it.
always
Look
like
at the-
Cosmos was always going to be a bear
Look at
market
this.
thing for me, though.
7 billion at 33 already.
I think it's going to do well, though. To be fair,
7 billion already. Only 200 something million.
it all depends on how the cycle goes. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
answering
true.
these questions is I'm always going to make the assumption at this point, just because I want to be safe, that by the end of this year, majority of, if everything goes as planned, meaning we have a parabolic rise, like
Yeah.
Right.
even if I don't believe that the cycle is necessarily over, I'm going to cash out a lot just to be safe, And
You
so
have to. Yeah.
for the next 3 months or so, do I think Cosmos is going to be worth putting in
True.
a significant position? No, but
No.
True.
if like we have an extended cycle where, you know, where DeFi is still a big thing and NFTs, I think it's Osmos or that exchange. There's a bunch of other things being developed on Cosmos that look super cool. That look super cool.
I agree.
That's a great point, man.
Matic as well. I really like Matic as well. But now you can farm it. Also Algorand as well.
Top of my head, I don't know. Are they layer 1 or are they built on Ethereum? They're not built on Ethereum, are they?
Matic?
Yeah.
Matic is a layer 2 scaling for Ethereum.
Okay.
And so it's yeah.
A lot of cryptos are starting to like they're basically accepting a lot of cryptos to switch over to Polygon or on Ethereum.
It's the fees.
Yeah,
it's Polygon fees are
they're like
nothing.
They're like, oh, if you don't want to be on Ethereum, come over here.
You need like one Polygon in your wallet basically to
do 100 transactions.
To do as many transactions as you need, really.
Yeah.
All you need is one Polygon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you put that in perspective, it's crazy.
They're accepting a lot of cryptos from Ethereum
and
onto their mainnet.
There's an actual website that if you go to it, I don't remember what the exact website is, but if you put your wallet address, they'll give you free Polygon so that you could swap it with Ethereum.
Exactly. Yep.
There's something there with Polygon. I'm starting to see how like a lot of these cryptos are blowing up once they move over to the Polygon network.
It's cheaper, bro. It's just so much cheaper. Like, say for instance, you want to get into VXV, right? You got to use Ethereum for it. Imagine you can use Polygon for it. Yeah. You can potentially buy endless amounts of VXV.
They did that for HID. As soon as they accepted HID, everyone switched over from there to HID and blew up in a day overnight.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
The power of the decentralized. That's why I didn't earlier this year I was saying like I'm not really into any of the decentralized exchanges.
Yeah.
It's for the reason of the power of decentralized exchanges has not been realized because of gas fees. Like that's why I was telling you guys, we'll talk about it later on, Avalanche, just the seamlessness in which you can make a swap, and the fees, the amount that you pay in fees is so negligible that it's like, this is where decentralized finance, you really feel the power of it. Not when you're paying, not when I have to worry about legitimately having 100 or 150 bucks of Ethereum in my MetaMask wallet to make like a couple $100 in a swap.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's understandable. It's the proof of concept, and people like.
Ethereum was the first, right? Ethereum was the first of its kind to do that.
It did its thing in terms of it proved how powerful.
Yeah.
It's very innovative, and they will scale to a point where, it works. But like, there's already Avalanche, there's already Solana.
People are figuring out how to make it better already.
There's already things out there right now where, including Cosmos, where you can exchange for nothing. So why would you, at this point, people are going to go where they can make the most money, and how
exactly.
And, like, the ease of the transfer of the money between two people is the most important thing. And so Ethereum will not be where that happens for at least the next 6 months to a year, most likely. They'll lose some market share.
All right, guys, let's move on to the news of the day. First article we're going to be talking about today is Ripple and Nelnet. They launched a $44 million fund to help with carbon negative crypto industry. So basically, you guys remember when Elon Musk was like, hey, I don't want to accept Bitcoin. It's not green enough. You know what I'm saying?
He was contradicting to his own market.
Yeah, he was like, look, I can't do this because it's not green. Well, now apparently Ripple has created a fund, $44 million in order to have that carbon negative, which is, I think, is a pretty cool thing. It could be a footprint for everything else.
I mean, Ripple is on the World Economic Forum, and they're on, I believe they're on the advisory board of the Paris Climate Agreement, which is trying to make everything carbon neutral by like 2050. Mm-hmm. So they're in those meetings, they're in those discussions rooms, and a lot of people are saying that that's why Ripple is the quote unquote the chosen one, because it's going to be the bankers coin, and it's going to be carbon negative. It's going to be efficient and the help with emissions and all that stuff. The green, which is what all the government politicians want, and and the elites want, and everything like that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. What? That's the narrative about Ripple. That's why it's the chosen one. It's being sued right now.
I mean, we know you're not invested into Ripple, Dante. But what do you think about it potentially being the first one to be carbon negative in that sense? Pushing that narrative like that.
I mean, I think it's obviously very powerful. Like all of why I'm so, I guess like the whole thesis of why I became so bullish on crypto so fast was also because of the whole narrative behind the green economy, right?
Right.
and what is going to bring us towards the green economy. So anything to do with sustainability, anything to do with things like this being carbon negative is like, it's huge. The narrative is going to push us in that direction, and a lot of things are going to be justified based on them being greener, more sustainable. So, Ripple I think like it's clear, like Ripple has it in the bag. Like Ripple has it in the bag. It's more so like, how is the US government going to treat them? Because realistically, we already know they're already working with so many other international groups and governments and banks that it's like, it's really just up to the US to decide how they're going to deal with having, because obviously the banks, like, now what are the people going to say about the banks? One of the narratives was, like banks, the amount of carbon or whatever CO2 emissions, I don't know how this works, but it's like the amount of CO2 that banks are using up just in the way that they transfer money. That was a huge deal. So now they can go and say, well, now we use Ripple and it's carbon negative. So what is the battle that they're going to have on that front based on that? They won't, right? There won't be any battle left.
Yeah,
so I think
that's interesting.
It's huge.
That's interesting.
It's definitely huge.
But
necessary.
I'm glad that Ripple, potentially could pave the building blocks for other cryptos to be like, hey, they're doing it. All right, we can do it too. And then we just end up being super green for everything.
I think the reason why the U.S. government's going after them, one of the things is because they can't really control it in regards of it has a team, like a Brad Garlinghouse and Terry Larson, I think his name is. I feel like that's the reason why, because the government has to like kind of report to them. They're trying. Think about the internet. The government doesn't control the internet. It's basically controlled by Microsoft, Google, and Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook.
Right.
Jeff Bezos. Well, not anymore him, the new CEO. But you get what I'm saying? Like, they let the internet innovate and grow to the point where now they're like, oh man, like we can't shut the internet down. These huge companies are too big to shut down now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's what they see with crypto. Ripple can take over everything with their technology, the NFTs, obviously the banking, all that stuff. And I feel like it's centralized in regard of them having to work with them now. Like, I feel like the government's like, oh, we can't let the internet 2.0 happen again.
Exactly.
Where these big companies
without them working with it,
right? Monopolies. Like Google was buying everything. Google bought YouTube. Google bought, you know what I mean? They were buying. Facebook was buying Instagram. Bought WhatsApp. Like, they just stomping on all these companies that start and then become monopolies. And there's only like 3 or 4 large tech companies.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's like my opinion on it.
Now, a lot of the Latin American countries, they've been adopting Bitcoin for a long time, man. And now apparently Venezuela, this international airport, is now going to accept Bitcoin payments. But not just Bitcoin. They're going to be accepting a lot of other cryptocurrencies as well. If you go down, they say, we're going to accept many cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin Dash, and then their oil-pegged digital currency, the Petro, which is pretty interesting. Venezuela has an oil-pegged digital currency. Is Venezuela like,
that's interesting.
Do they make their money
Petro.
primarily with
Petro.
oil? That's interesting.
They don't like
I have
Elon
no
Musk,
idea,
that's the
but that's
case.
very interesting.
I think they might, man, because why else have a freaking
Look at the bottom.
a oil-pegged digital currency?
This says that they're gonna accept Ether and Dogecoin as well too for tickets.
Yeah, so Leviathan Airlines has already been accepting them.
Oh, they have been.
Yeah,
Okay.
since 2014.
No way.
They
started rolling out crypto
They rolled out
payments.
their crypto payments in 2014, but I don't think they started
In March they
accepting
started
it.
allowing Ethereum and Doge.
Yeah, I mean,
So this has been happening for years, but it's just
years
so
in the
much-
making. It just wasn't mainstream,
And look, this news comes amid Venezuela experimenting with a central bank digital currency, with the country's central bank launching the digital Venezuelan Bolivar on October 1st. Unlike a CBDC, which is pegged to Venezuela's national currency, the Petro is oil-backed, so it's backed by oil. Because you can back a CBDC or a stablecoin by anything.
right. I mean, because Cardano,
Tether backed by nothing, by
yeah,
IOUs.
but Tether is yeah, Tether is huge though. I don't think that's.
Well, they
going
started
anywhere.
off backing up by nothing, and then they eventually got the money to then.
Well, yeah, I think
cover
that's
their ass.
interesting. Oil-backed
Yeah,
dollar.
that's interesting.
That's interesting.
Jeez.
Because Cardano had an oil-backed stablecoin, not oil-backed. I'm sorry, gold-backed stablecoin coming to Cardano.
Oh,
So
oil backed based off.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
But more of these countries are starting to create their own digital dollar.
Yeah, Yeah. And as they should, though, right? We want all the other countries to now come into the light. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of third world countries who just been hiding in the shadows with nothing.
They have no banking. They have no access to money. They have no access to anything. Now they're bing. There's like a light. It's like a light now. You know.
I feel like it's a good thing.
They're connected to the world now.
I feel like it's a really good thing. Now, there's a famous YouTuber. Some of you guys know him. Maybe you don't. He goes by Coin Bureau. And he basically made a bold statement. He said Solana and Algorand will reach all-time highs in Q4. John, I think you had a question for us.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to like, I was like interested in like diving into this article, right? And like, what I was gonna ask, like, I wanted to ask Dante. I was like, what do you think about these large people, like these people with large influence, saying things like this? Like, is this with merit, or is this with like research? Is this just a feeling? Like, how does that affect the crypto space? Because like now, in my opinion, this could make inflated money version. You get what I'm saying? Like, people are gonna buy in Solana through hype rather than it actually being organically raised, right? ALGO as well. So I'm like, what are the ramifications of someone with big influence like this saying something like that? What do you think?
I think out of all the people I've seen on YouTube, Coin Bureau is one that he knows what he's talking about, and he's someone who's trying to guide the people in a way where they don't get wrecked. I think he's saying he knows, he's smart enough to know that, again, the rise that happened with Solana as well, a lot of it came from NFTs. Like the initial huge pump, because there was enough hype. There was a lot of hype with Solana at the start of the year, and it was like $1. But there was nothing being built on it. There was nothing going on. Same thing with Avalanche. But as soon as stuff started happening and there was exchanges created, like the price pumped like crazy. And so I think it's easy to say that in my opinion, it's easy to say Solana is going to do well. It's easy to say Avalanche is going to do well because they now have applications that are already built. And so when there's this massive influx of people who show up and they're brand new to the crypto space, and all of these new projects are launching on Avalanche, or all of these new projects are launching on Algorand, it's just going to be that the demand is going to skyrocket for those cryptos. Like, oh, you need Solana to do this transaction. People who don't care about the price of Solana are just going to buy in, and then the price is naturally just going to explode from there. It's just like everything that's happening right now on a much smaller scale is just going to go up 6 or 7 times. And so then most likely the prices of those projects will probably go up similar to that.
That's why I was thinking. So is that like utility and speculation like combined to create price appreciation? Because you have pure speculation that pumps price really well. But then you have utility, and just like you said, once utility kicks in, you see price appreciation. This, in my opinion, like I was thinking about it, was like, dang, this is like both. Because now you got people that don't even know what Solana does, and they're like, oh, Coin Bureau said I'm gonna buy it. You know what I mean? They don't even know what it does.
Well, the crazy thing about it, right? And because we both have YouTube channels and things of that nature. Coin Bureau, he's been doing it for a while, and he's been pretty spot on with his picks, but most of the time when people watch influencers, we always say, not financial advice. Everyone always takes it as financial advice, man. You know what I'm saying? So if he said Solana was going to tank at the end of the year, people would be like, oh, I'm going to probably stay away from Solana because it might tank. You know what I'm saying? So it goes
both ways, right?
It goes both ways. They're taking what he's saying verbatim, and they're taking it as financial advice. And in reality, it almost validates him, because then everyone's going to FOMO in, and then will price appreciate just from that.
That's what I'm saying. 100%. That's speculation.
Right.
And then utility at the same time. You're like, wait, which one is it? That's why I said inflated. I'm like, is it inflated because of
it's all of these prices.
That's why I'm like, oh man, like which one's real? What is the real? I mean, like BitBoy does it too.
No, say something about all of them crypto, are inflated.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
like, all of the prices are inflated.
BitBoy does it a lot.
It doesn't really matter. BitBoy is notorious for it.
And I'm like me personally, I want real utility, and that I don't know when that's gonna come, but when real utility kicks in, that's when we know, okay,
I feel like
we know that this is a stone, it's just a rock, it's not gonna tank, it's gonna survive, it's gonna do well, do regulation, etc.
Right.
A lot of these cryptos, just like the stock market right now, is pure 100% speculation.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
and
I mean, yeah.
that could hurt a lot of people. It could hurt like me personally too, right? Because we don't know, no, unless you do, you have to do research, obviously. But that's why it's like, I mean, I believe in Solana, I believe in Algorand. These are obviously like A+ picks, but that a lot
I
of
think
these
they're
cryptos are
no-brainer
inflated.
picks in terms of they're gonna
Mhm.
go up a certain amount. Before this, I think they're, especially, I guess, like if you look at it like this too, it's like once your channel is as big as his channel, like you said, everything you say is going to be taken as financial advice.
Everything. Yeah.
And if something
everything.
you really like, and you talk about it, and then people are gonna buy in it just because they trust you. Oh, this guy's
Exactly.
gold.
And I think
So-
Avalanche and Solana to me are the most obvious things you could pick in terms of something you're not going to, it's not going to be a 20x, I mean, who knows? It could
Right.
be, but I don't look at it as like, this is what's going to, change my life. I'm going to put $1,000 in here and become a millionaire.
And
type
retire.
thing. Obviously
Yeah.
not.
Right.
Maybe if you waited long enough, but for this bull cycle, I think a lot of people can do very well buying the local bottom of this altcoin dip, like buying, again, not financial advice, buying
They're
Solana
taking their
or
pen and note down right
Avalanche,
now. What's Dante saying?
like buying those at the bottom of whatever this dip is that happens, like,
Right.
yeah, you could easily double your money. I think easily,
Yeah.
especially with Avalanche, you could easily double or triple your money, because there will come a point where people are just initially the prices go up based on someone buying it to get onto an exchange or to use a product.
Mhm.
And as the price pumps, the inflation of the price comes from the people who are then FOMOing in on top of what people are using just in order to use it as a means of transaction. So that in that way, yes. But the inflation actually, in my opinion, comes after utility. Like people start using it, there's something that they need it for, the price goes up a little bit, then the hype drives the price up much faster. It happened with Matic at the start of this year. I don't know if you remember.
I remember
Around
that.
March.
Yeah,
I remember Matic. Matic
It was
blew up.
pumping. It was pumping first because all of the exchanges were now up and running and people could trade. But then on top of that, it pumped way higher than it necessarily needed to.
The FOMO people.
Yeah.
Because people were FOMOing in, thinking that this thing's just going to keep going up. But
Yep.
it's not. The reality is, it's never going. That's never going to be how, things go down.
That ties perfectly into what we talk about later. This question, but I see you have something there that's before it, so I don't want to break it.
It's all. Don't worry about it. But the last thing I'm gonna say about this, and we can move on, is Solana and Algorand. Obviously, like we said, they are A+ picks, but it just doesn't make sense for me to ape into it right now if I'm looking for price appreciation. I'm just not gonna accumulate enough. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And we said the same thing about
100%.
Quant. No offense, no offense to you because you love Quant, but
We love it too.
But newer investors, because we got
investors.
super arguments with people in the comment. Well, not arguments, but you know what I mean.
Debates.
About a newer investor, like fresh, new, not into anything. Would you tell them, hey, invest in a Quant if you only had $1,000? So it's just one of those things. Like when Coin Bureau says, hey, Solana and Algorand will blow up. If somebody's new to crypto and they're searching for it and that pops up, they're gonna dive. They're gonna ape into that, and then you might buy the top and then kind of.
I think if you were gonna buy, and yes, of course I love Quant, but that's just fundamentally, and fundamentally it doesn't really matter right now.
Exactly.
At this point, we are not talking about fundamentals. We're just talking about what's, if you're here and you're new, what is going to get you a good amount of return so that you can cash out, and then in the bear market, that's when you make your money, right? I would still choose something like Quant just based on market cap over. I think if you had to do it, if you had $1,000 and you were deciding between all of those, I would put $250 into Quant and then split the other two between Avalanche and Solana, because I think Quant will outperform percentage-wise those two. I really do. Before the end of this bull market, but those are safer plays. It's like buying Bitcoin right now. Even buying Bitcoin is still risky, but like if you are willing to hold, I think you'll still get a 2x out of your money most likely.
Yeah, I think so.
But
I think so.
You could get a 2x or you could get a 4 or 5x from some of the top 10. I think Chainlink I think Chainlink will go to $100 probably. You could get a 4x out of Chainlink. But the reality is like, why? Chainlink's going to go to $100, that means that everything below it is going to go to far more.
That means VXV is gonna be
Exactly.
VXV,
Yeah, like
Alliance
VXV
Block.
could probably
Those are gonna
VXV,
go.
I mean,
damage.
Alliance Block, like it's you know, why not have Link at 70 cents versus Link at $24? It's basically the same in term. That's the thing. Like the fundamentals are great and everything, but at this point in time, Alliance Block is based on the way the price moves is going to move like Link did before, and that was its biggest bull run thus far, was when Link went from like $1 to however much it went to,
Like
ridiculous
$50, right?
numbers. So it's like you can have that first massive run with Alliance Block
Yeah.
that people did with
Right
Link.
now.
So I
Alliance
would be
Block.
buying Alliance Block. The one that I keep looking at when everyone asks me is Alliance Block right now.
Dude, that's
like,
that's what I was saying in the Discord.
look at Alliance Block and look at how it's still gone up a lot, but it's always been a lag in the market. Like when I first heard of Alliance Block, it was January. I became aware of so many of these different projects in January, and then made some picks, and then obviously the ones I missed out on, such as DAG, Alliance Block, I got in at like, you know, Alliance Block was 2 cents, and then it went to, I think when I got in it was like 26. But
Damn.
The point being, like,
and it's just slowly.
You just don't expect that those things will actually catch on, because they are, you know, regulatory compliance for DeFi to me was like, that's not something people are going to pick up on and be interested in. I was wrong.
Now. Yeah.
But there's still a huge opportunity there.
DAG has a great opportunity right now to dollar cost average and then stack up, because it can have a massive blow up, and you can be prepared for the bear market with that, literally that one token. Like, I think, because it's under $1 right now, it's under 80 cents. It has a perfect position to give yourself a good base.
Yeah.
Build on.
DAG
I think
DAG
HBAR
is,
does. HBAR is like that as well, though.
Alliance Block.
You know what I'm
DAG
saying?
too,
HBAR and the reason I say HBAR is just because it's slow and methodical. So when it does blow up, it will blow up, and then you'll be able to accumulate a lot more, in my honest opinion. Which kind of leads into the next article that we're talking about, with it partnering, integrating with Hex Trust. So Hex Trust, for context, is a Hong Kong-based digital asset custodian. So basically what they want to do is use Hedera Hashgraph, their Hedera token service, HTS, to make their own token. They love what HBAR does, the security of it, the tokenomics of it, things of that nature. They wanted to be a part of their digital ecosystem. So that's what they're doing with this, I guess it's Toko? I don't know how to say it, but TOKO. So whenever that comes out, it might be something to take a gander at whenever that comes out for Hong Kong. Now, guys,
that's interesting. Good news for HBAR though. Finally.
Yeah, but I mean,
Since they run up.
when we look at this, right, people are gonna ask like, okay, that's great news for HBAR, but what is it doing for the price?
That's what everyone always
And
asks.
what people don't realize about it is it's not that the news is not there to make the price go up. You know what I'm saying? The price will go up when utility happens, when people are actually using it. But I don't feel like that's gonna happen this year. I feel like this is next, like 2, 3, 4 years from now.
HBAR just proves that it's like they're working. They're not just sitting there like Dogecoin or SHIB. They just sit there and based off of someone hyping it up. Like HBAR it's proving that, hey, we're forming partnerships. We're trying to get better. We're trying to reach more
Audience.
Audience, and we're trying to innovate. You know, we're trying to help other cryptos, trying to help other industries, et cetera, et cetera. They're working. Like they're working. Eventually, when utility kicks in, all these things that they're building, all these partnerships are gonna launch. Yeah. Everything's gonna be full go, and that's when you will see HBAR past $1 to a couple bucks. You know, $2, $3 when it's ready to, when it's locked and loaded, when it's ready, everything's live.
I agree.
It's just proving that HBAR is working. They're not just sitting there, sitting on their hands. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're just like Ripple. They're working, forming deals, even though they're getting sued.
Right. I agree. What do you think, Dante?
I think I agree with you guys. Honestly, like, I think all of these partnerships are great, but I guess even I had to come back to the reality of even things with like DAG, and the reason I'm also not in HBAR, other than when I told you I will flip it every now and then, is because of the fact that I think that, for one, these are ones that are, I don't want to say manipulated, but the price is being held down.
Yeah, price suppression.
Suppressed in a way where it's pretty obvious. There's time with these to get in, and even if they do have huge run-ups, they're going to go back down to prices where you'll still have enough time to accumulate. when you're
XLM.
looking at it so far, yeah, I mean, like I use DAG and HBAR in the same vein, as in like when you're looking so far into the future, if you're not getting a node like if you don't already have 250,000 DAG to have a node, you don't need to be rushing to try and get into it. Same thing with HBAR. People will disagree though, I'm sure, because again, the fundamentals are amazing. There's really no better teams out there than, you know, the council that's behind Hedera, but I still think like this is just the beginning. And so we can make a lot of, and just from a return on investment standpoint, I think these are going to return well. But if you were early enough, even just to be in some projects in January, there's no point selling out of those ones to get into these.
I agree.
Based on
that's what it is.
Most of the people hyping up what's happening now are the people who have been patient and waited long enough.
True.
And got in early enough where it's like, now this is exciting because this is where they are making their huge return on investment.
It's Cardano at 13
the next couple
cents.
of months. Exactly. Cardano, I'm not telling people, and I still think Cardano, you can 2x, 3x. I think Hedera can do better than that just because it's a lower price.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean I have not bought any Cardano since January. That's always the example I use, is that since January, I stopped buying Cardano because I was like, well, now is not the time to continue buying. This is the time to just let my money do the work for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just watch it go up.
That's
just increasing your risk.
That's like my mindset. You know, as we're getting closer to quote unquote the bull run, I'm just adding to the bags that I currently already have. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I'm not really chasing down other tokens.
There's a couple tokens though that you can just, based off of utility and speculation combined, that you can get into, and it'll flip and make you a 4 or 5x in a week.
Right.
And then you can just boom, take your profits, and then add to your positions, or wait and do it again.
Well, that was proven.
That's been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
And in that game, it's starting to become more people catching on to it. So these cryptos are starting to blow up a lot faster than people anticipated, because more people are understanding the game now.
Right. No, I agree with that.
And based off utility too. So
I agree with that.
One exchange says, "Hey, we're allowing you to do this," and then there it is. People FOMO into that, and then it's just left and right. You feel like, but that like if you're living off of that, like that can mess you up, because you can go crazy like trying to chase
coins.
Sleep,
Yeah.
You won't sleep. You'll go crazy like
Yeah, you'll be chasing 100x's, 1000x's, 10x's.
But it's not like the same mentality as a meme coin though.
Right.
Like using Poo Coin and all that stuff when people were buying all those weird names like Elongate and Safe Moon and Keanu.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot different than what that was. That was like a weird phase. This phase is more of like, hey, these somewhat have utility, and a lot of these are kind of premature, but most of it's based off of speculation.
Right.
And
what it potentially could do in the future.
And then it'll blow up, and then people are like swing trading it. People are just getting in and getting out, and then the tank goes up, and then boom, goes right back down. But then it consolidates, and then a couple weeks later it does it again.
Exactly. I agree. Now, I know a lot of us, at least the ones in this room, this virtual space that we are in now, don't too much care for SHIB, right?
No, what are you guys talking about? I love SHIB. That's my favorite.
We don't really too much care for it.
It's going to the moon.
But we wouldn't be a informational channel or a news channel if we didn't bring you guys the news on SHIB, whether it's good or bad. So apparently, SHIB now is coming up with an NFT drop. I guess they're really trying hard to have utility.
Wait a minute. This is an NFT drop. Like they're selling NFTs off of their brand or whatever. It's not a platform.
No. So it's gonna be on Shiba Swap.
What?
Yeah. It's gonna be on
I
Shiba
read
Swap.
about that. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, they're trying to create utility around tokens so that it's a legitimate.
They're trying to
It's like a dark
so
cloud
hard.
coming, and they see this storm. Like, we gotta do something, guys. We're gonna get wiped out.
But like, okay, so SHIB, the SHIB community though, they are very
not a meme.
They're very loyal, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you say anything bad about SHIB, they will attack you.
I remember.
It's just like Doge, though. What's the difference? To me, it's just like
they're-
a bunch of people who didn't get into Doge.
They're
Shibers now.
they self-proclaimed Dogecoin killer, and now they don't go by that anymore because they're trying to team up with the Dogecoin.
Yeah.
They were the Doge. When they first launched, they were going after Doge. We're gonna be better than Doge. Now they're
It says it right here.
Now they're trying. Yeah, they're
touted as the Dogecoin killer.
They're trying to. I've seen where they're trying to bring their communities together to stay alive together.
Yeah.
But before they launched, if you look at when they launched or when they started blowing up, they were going after Dogecoin, forget Dogecoin. They were going after them. Now they're trying to be, hey, we need each other. It's
So this is the interesting part about it, right? So as you guys know, Shiba does have Shiba Swap, right? But I didn't know that they actually had their own token from Shiba Swap, and it's called the leash token. I didn't know that they had that.
We did.
Did
that
we?
was one that was like supposed to come out, and it was on their website. And they're like, coming soon,
They
coming
have
soon.
Bone as well.
The Bone, yeah.
They have Bone as well. I
Bone
remember
is like
Bone,
a couple thousand.
but I
wasn't
don't remember.
I've done
I
my
don't
due
remember
diligence
leash
on
though.
SHIB.
But nonetheless, right? It says in the first 24 hours after the launch, the users will be able to buy them with their leash tokens, one of the native tokens of the Shiba Inu ecosystem, which I didn't even know they friggin' had an
At least they're
ecosystem.
doing more work than Dogecoin.
Technically, yeah. After that time period, ETH purchases will also be available. So the first 3,000, I don't even know how to say this name, Shiboshis, I guess.
It's like Shiboshi.
Oh my God.
That's unreal.
Shiboshis, as they're called, will go for 0.1 ETH, or the equivalent of the leash token. And then the next 5,000 will cost 0.2, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of like, I mean, time of recording, Ethereum, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of like $800, something like that. And then the rest of them will be worth almost $1,000. I don't know what's the difference between the first 3,000 or 5 or whatever, but a single wallet can mint 10 NFTs. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's and also you can rename the NFT if you pay $100.
Mike's gonna FOMO into SHIB.
Okay, so for full clarity, I had SHIB before, but when it doubled that time, when it blew up, I took my initial out and I left the moon bag. But then the community was just so toxic. I just like, dude, I don't want to be associated with this anymore. I sold it, all of it. I sold my moon bag and everything. It wasn't a lot,
Damn.
But it's just, I didn't want to be a part of it, man. It's
My
just,
buddy,
it's
or
too
like
much.
my buddy put in $250 in on the 13th or something of May, turned into 15 grand, $250.
Damn.
50. That's better than
Whoa.
anything I've ever.
That's
After
one
all
thing
the
that
due
they'll do.
diligence, after all the research,
Yeah.
I have not.
Doesn't
made
that piss you
returns like
off?
that. It doesn't piss me off necessarily. It doesn't piss me off. I guess it makes me laugh at myself, because it's like, I'm like, you basically all the research you do, basically all the stuff you do at this point in at this point in crypto, because it's basically all speculative.
Right.
All of that is just, it's kind of like, you're doing that for yourself. You're not really doing that based on, this is actually going to be a better investment than the one that has no fundamentals right now, because it's all speculation. I guess the point is, like, the reason I look at the fundamentals is because I'm like, if anything happens where the crypto market one day truly crashes for some reason and everything loses 90% and I didn't have time to sell out, what is going to be the project that actually lasts the whole bear market, so that eventually when the bull market comes back, I actually made investments in things that actually were going to eventually bring me a return. Like, if I had to wait 2 or 3 years, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but who wants to do that? If you could make your money now, we want to do it
Exactly.
now, right?
I hear you. I hear you.
That's what I consider HBAR, QUANT, all those. They're good for if something really, really bad happened, and at least you know that you parked your money in something that's probably going to outlast all of the rest of them.
Yeah. And SHIB investments, that's not real crypto. That's the thing that a lot of people who are into crypto getting into. That's not how crypto's going to be forever when regulation comes.
Right. Well,
That's not going to stand the test of
Exactly,
time.
who knows if SHIB will even stand the test of time?
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
When regulations here and the volatility is gone, what's going to be left? The ones that are actually
I think we're
doing
going to have
work.
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are burned by crypto.
If they keep
because there's just
chasing
no
that.
other way. Yeah, I just don't see this going any other way than everyone's going to have a really good time because we're going to make a lot of money. But then the people who, it's
last
unfortunate. It's
forever,
like the
right?
people who don't learn their lesson the first time are going to get punished by what happens next. And that's the point, is like,
That's what I think.
What were
We
you
learned,
saying?
huh?
Yeah, we
got
got rugged in a meme coin, but now
It's like, yeah.
this is kind of like a deep dive, and not saying that this is gonna happen, but think about it this way, right?
I'm laughing with you. I swear, not at you.
Think
obviously.
about like
it's
all
shit
the
that would happen
people
to me.
that are invested into like meme coins, right? And a lot of people get rugged every single day. It's probably some guy just got rugged right now.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, so many of these rugs are going to start happening to where the news is going to have to cover it. And I feel like that's what's going to bring, that's what's going to keep people around to use like the Fed coin and things of that nature. Cause they're going to be like, look, see, these people are unregulated. They're not doing what they're supposed to. That's risky. But if you come to us, we can help you. And then I feel like that's what's going to bring the adoption and how they're going to all tie that in. It's just my thinking about it, you know, because I feel like something's going to happen to where they're going to have to put it on the news and everybody's going to be like, damn, they lost this much money. They lost $1 billion.
SHIB rugs,
you know?
Everything. Imagine SHIB ends up being a rug.
It
technically would be a rug if it got regulated.
I think at this point they really can't be a rug at this point. They, you know, like the guys who run it are
if
going
they got regulated, they would.
So many lawsuits. They'd be so screwed.
They would be screwed 100%.
No, like if NSC told them to shut down, that would be considered a rug, right? Because they would pull the liquidity and everything would go away.
I don't know.
If they got sued?
Maybe.
Look at SafeMoon.
Maybe.
SafeMoon's CTO stepped down, disappeared. SafeMoon's done. Just gone.
Wait, is it done? Donezo?
No,
it's gone.
The CTO stepped down. The chief technology ever stepped down.
Way.
And then
I wonder whatever happened to that one guy. He literally only did SafeMoon. I wonder if his channel's still around. But the big short investor Michael Burry criticized SHIB after it went up 340%. He basically he's quoted saying, 1 quadrillion seconds is 32 million years. 1 quadrillion days is 2.7 trillion years, or all of time from the beginning of the universe. Multiply that by 71,000. In other words, pointless. So he was basically saying that, you know, this SHIB investment is basically pointless. It's why would you even invest in it?
And he's the one that called the crash, the housing market bubble. He's Steve Carell in the movie The Big Short.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a very famous investor. He was immortalized. He made a lot of money, and he's basically saying SHIB is pointless, useless.
But the reason I think a lot of people get into it, though, honestly, is because the barrier of entry is cheap.
Look what we always say this.
Yeah.
That's why I think they get into it.
Look what we say. It's not a good investment because the amount of tokens in circulation.
Yeah, it's way too many tokens. But I think that's why that's what attracts people to it, right? You put $100 into it, and you might get like 500,000 or no, more than that. There's like a billion tokens.
There was people going viral on social media, on TikTok, YouTube, saying things like this. You put $50 in, you get 50 million tokens. It hits $1. Yeah, $50 million. And people were like, yeah.
I think
people believing that.
Yeah.
They don't understand tokenomics. They don't understand market cap. And they're just like, that's why it's so dumb. Like, that's not real crypto. That's not real. It's not consistent. You're just going to buy a lottery ticket. You're going to the horse.
I think the main point is, like, there's only so much you can do to, I would say you guys obviously we are both in the same realm where we are all interested in crypto. We're all interested in making, you know, life-changing amounts of wealth with crypto. That's what we're here for. Right. And so, what we share is things that, you know, are kind of on a different level to investments like SHIB. But the thing is, at some point or another, people have to do their own due diligence. Right. People have to learn what they're investing in. It's just not, to me, it's like we were talking about it off air as well. It's like every single video you tell people this is not financial advice. Every single person watching, I know there's a whole thing that there's some people who are just truly not aware of, like, the setting in which these videos and stuff are going on. But I think it's clear that we're just regular people who have opinions on what we do inside the market.
Just document.
You should absolutely you should never trust anything that, you know, you haven't done your research on. Right. And if you didn't do your research on something and you invested in it, you have to take responsibility. I think it's just hard for me, it's like everyone needs to take responsibility of the fact that nobody's losing money or making money in the market other than themselves. So when they make money, it's always thanks to them. When they lose money, it's thanks to them too. It's not because somebody else told you to do something. You always have to take everything with a grain of salt. So it's like, Yeah, when you look into something like SHIB, it's like the risk is, yeah, put 0.01% of your portfolio in there if you really feel like you don't want to miss out on whatever's going to go on. But to me, it's like this could go up 18,000%. I really don't think I would care.
I wouldn't either.
It wouldn't bother me because it's like I was completely okay with that happening before I even invest, when it was worth nothing. I was okay with it going up 10,000%. I was okay with missing out on that because it's not worth it. Otherwise, whatever money you hold inside of that, you're gonna be kind of paranoid about it because you don't trust that investment. It could literally disappear at any day.
Well, my whole thing is like, say someone gets into this is their only investment and they make $1 million off of it, $2 million off of it. They're gonna feel like, you know what, I know what I'm doing. This is, what I'm saying.
That too.
So it's like
that too.
They're gonna be like, have you ever made $1 million on crypto? All right, I'm not talking to you then. I made $1 million on this, and it's like this is all they know. They didn't do no research, no nothing.
Someone tweeted it, bought it.
You know, so it's like a catch-22 in my opinion. That's just what I think.
And it works out a lot of the times for people like that, where
it really
those
does.
are the stories you hear too. Like I told you, like you feel kind of silly when you spend, and you meaning I and other people who are in the space who have been in it longer and also understand it a little bit more.
Right.
For the people who do go and really, really spend the time and put in the hours to find projects that are good, have long-term visions and roadmaps and teams that actually are trying to build something that's legitimately, in a way, paradigm shifting with the way we're moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, which is basically just, Web 2.0 being what we live in now with the internet, where we have, the broadband services like Verizon, Xfinity, at least in the US, and then you'll have your equivalent wherever you live, where the internet is something that's centralized and distributed versus peer-to-peer, which is the initial vision of the internet. And so with blockchain or with DLTs, you can now have Web 3.0, which is, now it's completely decentralized again. It's completely peer-to-peer. The value of the network is within the nodes, meaning the computers that are supporting the network.
Right.
So it completely changes the game in terms of, instead of paying Verizon and Xfinity, you're paying a protocol that's eventually going and paying an individual computer that could be ours, Like that's the stuff that you want to get in now that, is going to, hopefully be sustainable. And obviously SHIB is not one of those things. So it's like, to me, it's like we're the future that I have is completely different to the future in which SHIB is a good investment. So I'm not bothered by it, whether it does well or not.
Yeah, well, gracefully said there, my friend. So with that being said, I guess we can move on, right? Let's go to the tweets of the day. Now we had.
I love the dog.
I love that dog, man. Oh, that is a beautiful dog.
I obviously love dogs, and I like that dog's cute.
Now, since it's your day on the show, we had to find a quant tweet for you, man.
Oh, come on. I'm not that much of like a maxi guy.
So mostly people are like, Quant is such a letdown. Currently down 5 digits on it. Really had high hopes for it. Can't believe it's really a shit coin. And then they're like, and then goes back down to, because Quant has 100 or more uses than XRP, is way less coins, billions of less. Quant will be 5-digit coin. XRP will lucky to be double digits. So it's just one of those things where it's like,
it's just a back and forth bickering, but it's like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
And then the Quant XRP communities are bickering, debating back and forth. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, because last time we spoke, everyone tried to play us against each other, like, oh, he's Quant, you're XRP.
I know.
We're still early.
It wasn't even anything like that.
It wasn't even that. But hey, we just wanted to bring that on just as a, what I'm saying. We had to put that.
I knew there was a lot of people who like Quant on my channel, obviously, because I make a lot of Quant videos, but it's again for them to kind of just lighten up a little bit, Right. It's like, guys, who cares? At the end of the day, who cares?
Who cares?
At the end of the day, who cares? You're just to me, it's like, just be great. I'm not gonna tell you to be grateful or anyone to be grateful, but to me, it's like, I'm just grateful I'm in either, and I'm aware of either of these things going on, because just imagine, in 2 or 3 years, if things go nuts and we have these massive run-ups with things like XRP and Quant where they truly never come down,
right?
Just be thankful you're not one of the people who missed out on that, guys. Like, I know what it felt like with Bitcoin, and I'm not going to let that repeat. So it's like, yeah, we're like, at the end of the day, we're both on we're all on boats that are going
We're on
to
crypto.
for the
We're in
most,
crypto.
they're definitely not going to sink when most of the other ones do. That's the only point that needs to be made right there, is that I think it's obvious that XRP is undeniably got something going on. Like I said, I haven't done my research enough to know really in the weeds, but it's like, it's pretty obvious who they're working with. Again, like it's as simple as that. Who are they working with? What are they doing? And you can see that there's a future for XRP, and the fact that there's so much attention from the government from them.
Right.
Just like VXV. Why is there any attention from the government with VXV? Because there's technology there that
they want it. They said come to the US.
They don't want to get out of their hands.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Come to the US, please. Come to the US.
Exactly.
It's already too late for XRP. They're already in the hands of. They're already worldwide at this point. The US already kind of
dropped the ball.
Fumbled the bag with that one. Yeah, already.
XRP though.
That's true.
Back in 2017 was top 10.
Yeah.
And a lot of those top 10 cryptos are not
no longer here.
Yeah.
Not
the same
XRP
top
is one of
10.
them. Is Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP was in that top 10.
Yeah.
It's still in the top 10 to this day.
That's
which is
crazy.
Crazy to me.
That's kind of crazy to think about. That's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next tweet, guys. Now, shout out to Prince XRP. He or she said, "I'm 100% all into crypto." Well, because it says Shihab at the top, so
Shahab.
Shahab.
Shahab,
Oh,
yeah.
Shahab.
Prince.
Sorry, brother. Sorry, I apologize. I'm 100% all into crypto. I still feel massively underexposed. I need more cash flow. I need more crypto. I understand some people might feel differently, but I'm willing to take the risk for what I see is the biggest opportunity in my life.
What do you think about that?
I couldn't agree more for that. I couldn't agree more. You know, it's right now, you know, they say that you're not supposed to put all of your eggs in one basket as far as like investments go. But I feel like there's no other asset right now that will give you the returns that you would potentially want other than crypto right now.
Asset class for sure. And I think, I just think that it seems too good to be true that things are lining up in a way with macroeconomic, just events and things going on where people aren't directly saying it on a macroeconomic level, but really there's things that just all point to crypto as being something as a safe haven asset for your money, a safe haven asset, or an asset class that still is, in the grand scheme of things, undervalued, and undervalued in the sense that the capabilities of what can happen with crypto and digital assets are still undervalued because it's such a small market. But it's not necessarily undervalued based on utility of the cryptos that exist. There's still, adoption and work that needs to be done in that vein, but simply in investing in general, I still think like Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Ethereum, but mainly Bitcoin, and then a lot of other utility based tokens, like they have so much room to grow. And especially that's why I love VXV so much. Honestly, I've never seen, and I've looked at, best believe, like I've looked at so many different projects over like the last 2 years at least. I've never seen anything like VXV. It's very unique. That's why I like it so much. To the point where it's like they're totally different, and this is only just the beginning of like projects like VXV that show up. There's gonna be so many more VXVs that come up. Those are amazing opportunities. That
mindset is for unique people in this space right now, where they're like, I need more cash. I need more cash.
The opportunities are just beginning.
Yeah.
Your whole life.
So don't worry. I would say just don't worry. You're here. That's all that matters. You're aware. Don't leave. Don't
I agree.
That's how we're living, right? Like, we need more cash.
I literally make money to put it into crypto. You know what I'm saying?
Other than making your
living,
to be comfortable, at least to have a place to sleep, eat, and then everything out of that, it doesn't go to
buying
other
dumb
things
stuff
that we used to do, right?
Yeah.
You would go hang out with friends, go out, buy stuff, buy a bunch of random clothes, buy gadgets, buy games. I always be a gamer. I used to love playing games. I, bought new Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, right? I would buy it every year. I'd buy all these games, random games, RPG games, and I don't do that anymore. This whole year, right? And a lot of people have been making that switch, I think, where they realize, hey, this is something that I can change my life here. I'm gonna put my original life that I had on pause and just go disappear and just be a whole new type of person where all I'm doing is researching, all I'm doing is learning, all I'm doing is either, if you're a content creator, creating content, you know what I mean? And seeing some type of light at the end of the tunnel. This will pay off for a lot of people that doing it the right way, I think.
100%. I agree. 100%. That kind of leads into the next tweet that we have. What you will do when, you know, you have that price appreciation. And shout out to Quant Mommy VXV Mommy. She said passive,
just don't miss.
She said passive income is the key no matter the amount of money you make in investing. Always have multiple streams of income. Part of my plan consists of leveraging. We lost you, Dante, for the
Holy no way.
It's all good. We still got your audio though, but we just lost the video.
As long as this thing didn't fry.
It won't. It didn't. I don't think. Hopefully. If you touch it, is it hot? Is it super hot? Okay. Well, it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't fry, but I would leave it off for the duration of the show. But she said part of her plan is to leverage USDC 10% APY staking on Crypto.com, which you can do with USDC when the time comes. So be ready, earn your principal. We're going to make it. John told me that's what that meant. I didn't know that before.
So with crypto, you can make passive income.
Yeah, you can make passive income, guys. You know, it's there's so many ways to make money in crypto, and it's not just, you know, buying and putting your money in here and waiting for the price appreciation. Okay, that's great, but what happens when you have the price appreciation? You pull profits, and then what do you do with it? You know what I'm saying? You don't go buy Lambo. You know what I'm saying? You stake it and make more passive income, so then you could potentially quit your job and do what you really love to do, which is trade crypto. In my honest opinion. But you know, different strokes for different folks, right? That's how I see it. But Crypto.com does have a pretty good APY. If you guys wanted to get into Crypto.com, if you guys aren't in it right now, I think they're still doing that $50 promotion thing. And we have a link for that in the description. If you guys want to support us doing that, you just click the link. You get $50. We get $50, I think, and kind of go from there. So if you guys want to do that, perfect. You can definitely do so. So I guess with that being said, let's just dive into the market gainers and losers.
Dante still with us, or just audio wise?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's with us audio wise.
Sir.
Just let that thing cool
Yeah,
down.
Yeah,
hopefully
let it cool down for a little bit. That happens with
hopefully it didn't
happens
fry.
with Sony's a lot, man. Even my Sony, I have a Sony A7 IIIs, which the cameras that we use on the for the show. And it sometimes used to get hot when I had just a regular battery in it. But the dummy batteries, they tend to kind of get a little hotter as well. So just got to be mindful of that. So let me go ahead and
camera, to be honest.
refresh real quick. Hit the 24
Is you letting it
hours.
cool off right now?
Yeah, well, what I was gonna say on the passive income piece too is that's why I also like Terra Luna.
Yeah.
There's a UST base for savings, like the Anchor protocol is like 20% on stablecoins staking.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
as long as you trust the stable coin, you can park your money in something like one of those protocols, and you're making 20%. That's unheard of in a traditional banking setting, at least in the US. For those of you who know, you might be lucky to make 0.01, which is absolutely hilarious.
Nothing.
So yeah,
you
so
get
it's
more
like,
than that on Bitcoin. If you just stake Bitcoin, you get more than that on Bitcoin, which tends to be
exactly.
the lowest one that you would gain APY on. I think it's like a 1.95 whatever APY. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. But in 24 hours, man, DAG is the number one. Finally, DAG has got to the number one spot.
It used to be though, when it was at 46 cents since its retracement.
Before its retracement. Yeah. I'm glad to see it up again. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say, we've been saying this. Dante, do you agree with us that we think DAG is still ahead of its time in regards of where it needs to be in regards of the technology?
Yeah,
it's still ahead of its time.
It's ahead of its time, and it's also like like when I talk about DAG, it was the same reason I talked about, or when I made a video on DAG recently, and I put in a position at like 26 cents, and then immediately there was bad news that came out about the mainnet, and then it crashed. The point being, like, DAG is ahead of its time. It's also such a long-term thing that you have to be patient. You got to be looking past this bull run. You got to be looking into the next bear market. You got to be looking into the bear market after that bull, or the bull run after that bear market. If things go exactly how we believe they will be, then yeah, there's more time with DAG. That's why initially I was saying, like, when I saw it under a cent, I was thinking, you know, there's going to be another chance. But then of course it goes up to 46 cents. I think it's still going to go up with the market though. I still really do think it's going to.
I think it
will
will
go up with the market
as well. But I agree with you. Me and John has been saying that for the past couple of days, that DAG is before its time, you know, and I feel like LTX is too.
This is why you diversify.
Yeah, exactly.
It's why you diversify. There's no matter how good the project is,
can't just sit on one.
Why would you be in one? That's why Link is, it's crazy to see how many people are tweeting about Link and how it's not doing well and how they're disappointed, but they're all in Link. Why?
That's all they have.
Why would you be all in Link? There's no reason to marry one crypto. There's no reason to marry one coin. And this is perfect example. No matter how good the fundamentals are, there's always reason. And the people who believe in this long term, the whales, the institutions, whoever, they want that bad news to crash the price even more.
Yeah,
exactly. Because they want to buy it even more,
so they can buy more.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? So that's how you got to look at these. These are the ones that are suppressed.
That's why I have DAG and I'm just leaving it there. I have a bag and I just hold it and just leave it there.
Yep. DAG is sitting at the top spot, which is kind of strange because
their baby is right there.
It's DAG and LTX is like 1 and 2. I know they work
built on DAG.
I know they work together, but it's like that's super coincidental, but that's pretty cool though. Cosmos is at the 3rd spot. Stacks is back over $2. HBAR sitting at around 35 cents, as we know. It doesn't do much. It just doop sideways trading, which is fine. If you want to dollar cost averaging the Hedera Hashgraph, you could definitely do so. Alliance block sitting at 75 cents.
Perfect entry point.
HID. This is one of the ones we talked about.
Health Goat. Sorry, I had to shout him out. I forgot. I said his name wrong the other day.
You did? I thought you said Health Goat.
I said Heath. Hey, he's back.
Here we go.
Put him back.
I don't know how long I'll be back.
All right, we'll probably
it's all good.
Like 10, 20 minutes.
We got you.
Yeah.
Ethereum sitting at 3,500. We spoke about already. Algorand trying to get to $2. We spoke about Cardano. Bitcoin dipped a little bit from 56 down to 55. GRT is at 66 cents. ZRX looks like it might dip under $1 again.
It's a stable coin now. Look, stable coin.
It's looking like it. XYO sitting at 3 cents. Elrond trying to get back over $300. Veracity has been doing really well. As the past couple of days, it's up almost 40% on the week.
I didn't get in on that when you were telling me about it.
I told a lot of people about Veracity, but they were just like, I don't.
That's what pulled because we were looking at VXV, and that's what we got. We found you, Dante, because you were talking about VXV and Veracity, and I was like super all in on VXV, and he was all on Veracity. We're like, what the hell? It was like
it was too good to be true, which is kind of like, wow.
We gotta reach out to him. Yeah. We have to reach out to him.
I love Veracity as a project. It's just another one of those things where so many people are shilling it.
Yeah, now
I had to stop talking about it because it was just like, oh my god, like guys, stop talking about it going to $1 in the next 3 weeks, please.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. It's just
giving people so many unrealistic expectations,
right?
And it affects you as well because you're looking at it and thinking like, wow, yeah, everyone expects this to go to some crazy price soon, which is not going to happen. But again, like, I love the project. Fundamentally, it's kind of like my NFT gaming esports play for sure.
I mean, a 10x from here would put Veracity at around 50 cents, which will put Veracity at a $2 billion market cap. So, I mean, theoretically, that potentially could happen.
It needs to be at a
but $1, I don't see that.
$4 billion market cap. If you have the calculator, we can check it out later if you want. But
right.
It could. It's just that it could go to $1. It's just like, don't expect that to be.
Like
people are saying like
don't bank on it. People are banking on it. That's the problem.
Diversify again. Like that's what I mean by diversification. It's like there's a lot of people who are only in Veracity. It's like, it might, and the thing is like it could work out in a way where even if it goes to 50 cents, you probably have changed your life at that point if you have millions of Veracity. But it's like to me, I'm so interested in putting a little bit in there because it's like you can get a lot for a little bit, and then it does go to $1. You're like, oh wow, like that was an unbelievable investment. It's kind of like a SHIB investment, in the sense that it's when it was under a cent, when it was such a low price, it was like a no-brainer. It's like just put a little bit of cash in here and it'll probably do well.
But I feel like
literally
nobody
VeChain 2.0.
wants to put a little bit amount in because they want to become a millionaire off of every investment that they make. Because have you ever got those comments that people are like, bro, how much do I put in so I can become a millionaire? And you're like,
That's the worst way to think about it.
I don't know.
One of the
Like,
worst ways.
what? You put in what you
I
can
mean,
afford.
it's just so risky. The thing is, it's so risky because it's like,
I'm gonna put my rent.
that's assuming that we are going to be millionaires off of this. There's still the chance that, like I said, I think we were just talking about it earlier. There's still the risk that one day there's a black swan event and the whole market crashes and it could be just
Crippling.
sunk. It could just be sunk. It could be anchored to the ground for another year before anything happens. And what if that project that was going to make you a millionaire, runs out of money to continue?
And then the
with
CEO
project, all
steps
of a sudden,
down. They walk away.
it
Yep.
runs out.
Can't. Yep.
All
It's
bunch
over.
of things.
Yep.
XTC is sitting at 11 cents, guys. Engine trying to get back to $2. We talk about XRP, XLM. It's like the pairs are kind of hanging out with each other. I've seen.
Yeah.
Quant has dipped under $300.
Everything's dipping
I think
right
it's
now.
still pretty healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too much worried about Quant sitting at
Good buying opportunity for a lot of
$200.
people.
279, 280. Quant has shown that it could bounce back really quickly. So, this is not something to panic with. But a lot of people are panicking right now, though. To be, frank, if you go on Twitter right now, everyone's like, "Oh my God, Quant's a rug, Quant's a rug." I'm like,
It's just the haters.
What are you
it's the
saying
people
right
that
now?
didn't get in at Quant. It's people that couldn't get in under $100.
No, I feel like the people that are complaining about Quant is the people that bought it at $400. Those are the
that's-
people
yeah.
that are complaining.
Waiting for it to hit 1,000. Yeah.
It's the same thing with Link, right? People bought Link at $53. And then if you go look at the chart for Link long term, it's just straight up it's basically just gone up this whole time. And it's in one of its consolidation phases where it doesn't go up for a very long time.
Yeah.
And people basically bought into that. And the same thing with Quant. It's like, I mean, I know from the comments on my videos, it's like, it was literally a day of red for VXV, Quant, Alliance Block. And, I was already getting comments on my videos like, hey, like so-and-so is down today. Like, what's going on? It's like, listen, did we all
It's
expect that this
normal.
was just going to keep going up? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
No
It's
chart just goes up
newer
like this.
individuals, but it's like, I think you got to understand, like, things are not going to go up forever. And also, Quant, Alliance Block, all of these projects, they started at a much smaller price. So there's people who are
$1.80.
gonna
Exactly.
take their,
March 13th.
they're going to take their profits on a $400 Quant. If they're not doing that, they're probably, like, it's a smart thing to do. I have not taken any profits because I'm just willing to wait a little bit longer, but there are people who will take their who are in at $1. Why wouldn't you take your profits?
Exactly.
My family member
I
bought
agree.
at like $350. I told him to buy it at $70. He ended up buying at $350.
And I think he'll still do well. That's the thing. I think he's still gonna, at the end of the year, I think Quant will be above at least $1,000.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be happy with that investment.
Yeah.
As long as he sells, he'll be happy. I think most people will be very happy with their investment
In long term, yeah.
most
Like
of
not
the-
long term,
in
midterm,
most of
midterm.
these things. Yeah.
I agree.
I
Midterm.
think
I call it
most of these
midterm.
things.
Now, we spoke about VeChain last time. It was at 11 cents.
I'm-
It's just.
I think I'm done with VeChain. Like, I mean, I sold all my VeChain, but I'm like done. I'm done with VeChain.
It's.
I found a new love when it comes to supply chain.
It's
man.
I don't know, man. VeChain is just kind of trading sideways.
I made a joke.
A lot.
I made a joke on my TikTok, but it didn't get approved because it's a price, talking about price. And I said in 2025, all these other cryptos, I named all these cryptos that are going to be parabolic, and then VeChain was 22 cents.
Yeah.
At 2025.
Yeah, VeChain. It's sad, but I'm a little sad about VeChain not doing.
You love VeChain.
I love VeChain,
I will say
man.
VeChain is my prediction for VeChain is it's going to be one of the first ones to run. I promise you, one of the first ones to just go.
Probably.
It will be.
Back to all-time
It
high,
will.
25
As,
cents.
That'll
that's
buy me
all,
in the
I'm only
butt.
saying that based on it following what happened at the start of this year. But I'll tell you, I was in VeChain when it was like under a cent, and then all the way up until 2 cents, and it was basically doing what it's doing right now.
Yep.
And I
Slowly
sold
but
all of my
surely.
VeChain to put it into Cardano.
Mhm.
Because I wanted a bigger position in Cardano. I was just like, out of these two, which one's going to give me the better returns? I think Cardano will. But I think immediately after I did that, long story short, VeChain went from 2 cents to 25. So I think the same thing's going to
Yeah,
happen
but I feel
again.
like
think with
I feel like you have
chain-
time with VeChain. You have time.
VeChain was was the best opportunity under a penny, to be honest. Because
it's available on a lot of exchanges. It's available on a lot of exchanges.
It's primed.
There's a lot of information out there about its partners and everything, where the masses will go in and they will get things like Cardano, VeChain, Avalanche. Those were the ones that they were the first things to pump, basically. I think the same thing will happen again. Theta, another one that like everybody loves. Everybody can easily understand the concept behind Theta, and that one always does very well.
Yeah. Flow is sitting underneath $20.
Love me some Flow.
Still pretty good. Still pretty good price target long term.
The VeChain killer right there. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the VeChain.
Morpheus is down 5% on the day, but it's been up almost 20% on the week. Last time we spoke about it was in the $4 range for Morph.
$4.50 or something.
And then Elf's trying to get back to $1. Gala Games is one that I'm really looking at. It's another one that has to do with the gaming industry.
Gala's really good.
So that one's sitting at 8 cents. Vectorspace is still consolidating at around $10, same as it was yesterday.
Has not been under $10 this whole time.
Yeah.
Months.
It's doing its thing. It's consolidating. I really enjoy the stability of Vectorspace.
That's what the crypto space is gonna look like in a few years. Just stable, just doesn't dip from $17 down to like $5.
Yeah, I mean, given its supply and all of that, technically it should have. You know, but it hasn't.
It holds strong.
It's held strong. It's been sitting, consolidating at $10 for a couple of days now. So, we might see some price appreciation for VXV in the coming weeks or days.
I can't believe it's ranked 2,800. That's so crazy to me. It should be top 50.
It will be eventually, just not right now. Too new. The market cap still doesn't show up. The circulating supply still doesn't show up. So until all that stuff kind of happens, you probably won't see Vectorspace that high. And
Vectorspace will be in like $90 for one. You know what I mean? At that point,
Yeah,
like when
that's true. I agree.
Patience is key with Vectorspace. Patience is key.
100%. CRO is another one that I really enjoy. I really like CRO. I love their card. I use it literally every day.
Wow.
So that getting to all-time highs whenever that happens, that'll be pretty cool. I'll be excited about that. Harmony One has been going up and up and up lately. It's up almost 30% on the week, man. But obviously people took some profits. But
LCX.
Harmony One's doing good. And then LCX at the bottom, then at 11 cents.
Chart just looks dirty. If you look at the chart of LCX, I love LCX.
It looks like it's bleeding.
Yeah, I love LCX.
Look at it.
This looks so dirty.
What's going on? Damn, I was not honestly looking at the charts too much. I was not looking at crypto basically the last week or so, basically since the last podcast, and I didn't even realize how much LCX has gone down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's still not. I mean, it's still not down to where like I initially got it 2.8 cents, but still it's a dirty chart. I don't know what the hell's going on, but that thing is dirty. It's just
See, if I was paying attention, maybe would have taken some profits on LCX.
What's that, sir?
That's a shocker, but I mean, like, still, I mean, if you weren't in LCX and you want to get in, it's probably going to be, there's probably going to be your last chance. I don't want to say last chance.
No, I feel you.
Who knows? But I would say like, it'll probably hit the same prices. It'll probably go down to like 11, maybe under 10. I could see it, and then who knows? After that might be the last time it ever goes below.
I was waiting for it to go back down under 5 again, like 3, where I bought in, but it hasn't happened this whole time. And this guy in the comment was like, "Dude, don't do that. Just accumulate." He's like, accumulate. He's like, accumulate. And I was like, I know. I want more. Like, I want more. More.
I'm shocked that did not hold. It was holding up so well.
16, 17 cents, right?
So well at like some crazy high prices, and then I think it capitulated at this point.
Yeah, I think it held
dirty.
It held the. It tried to hold for too long before it retraced, and now it's doing a little bit more.
Now it's really feeling it.
I want to see how that app affects it though. When the app comes out, I want to see how. If more people use it, if what other tokens and cryptos they add to their exchange, right? I want to see what goes on with that app. Because right now it's web based, right? You got to use a web browser and everything, blah blah blah. But let's just see how the app comes out and see how it goes from there, and maybe that might make it push to the point where it goes past 25 cents, 20 cents, and then doesn't look back anymore. I don't know.
Exactly. Well, guys,
and then you can close.
There's our show. It was we had a fun time. We had a great conversation. Dante DeFi is literally always amazing. We enjoy his thought process, the way
Input.
he thinks, his input,
you.
everything of that nature. We're gonna have him on every week now, you know, because why not? You guys enjoy him, we enjoy him, so hey, let's make it a deal.
Is there anything you wanna end on?
Oh, you guys have been really supporting us lately on our actual, like the voice only, the audio only version of our podcast. The actual podcast, not the video podcast. And you know, we have to thank you guys for that. That's truly amazing. For all of you guys who are donating, that's truly amazing. If you guys want to, it'll be the first link pinned to the top. If you guys want to definitely you know, help the channel out and keep the lights on, so to speak. We try and change our colors a lot, and you know, bring.
I like these colors.
Yeah, I like them too, man. I like that orange. We try and bring more innovation every time we come on, guys. And you know, Dante is one of those integrations that we, you know, want to bring to the channel because he has a really good input, and you know, that shows on his show as well. So if you guys know us but don't know Dante, you should definitely check him out. We have all of his links in the description down below. You can follow him on his he doesn't have TikTok, his Twitter and his YouTube channel as well, and go ahead and subscribe to him.
Anything you want to end on?
Yeah. Anything you want to say, Dante, before we close out?
No, I mean, that's all good. Yeah, it was a good show, guys. I appreciate it. It's gonna be a routine now, so it's like,
yeah, it won't feel so. Robotic is not the word, but it'll feel more. I don't know. I don't know what the word.
Yeah, it'll flow.
It'll flow.
Is it organic? Is that the word?
Flow.
Organic. It's organic.
Organic is definitely.
I mean, it's
the word.
organic now though, but since like I feel like since this is like the second time, third time.
We had the interview.
Third time.
We had the interview, and then we had the first show, and then the second show. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's third time. Yeah. So I feel like after 5, we're gonna be like, yeah, da, 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 you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like the news.
I think it's just gonna blow up. 100%.
I can't wait to have you on the show when everything is just pumping. When we're at that point, and let's see what happens, and see, like, you know, when that's when
the channels will be pumping too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Once the market's pumped, the channel, everything.
Yeah. When Bitcoin's at like 85,000.
That's gonna be interesting.
Bitcoin's at 85,000. Ethereum's at like 7,000.
That's gonna be
the lawsuit's over with XRP.
We'll enjoy that. We'll enjoy that. Like, it'll be like, we'll enjoy being that famous for the whole time that Bitcoin's going up, and then if it's like a blow off top and then Bitcoin just starts crashing again, then all those people who were new subscribers will just immediately be gone now because they are all wrecked and they just don't even want to be.
Well, they all got wrecked because they didn't take profits. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That is the problem. But all right, guys, you guys have a blessed rest of your day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
And it goes a little